Hello and welcome back. I'm Randy Newbert from VoodooFX. In today's video, we'll be doing a model kit review on the Kilowatt robot from Batteries Not Included. So let's get started. Okay, so here it is. This is the Kilowatt model from Batteries Not Included. This is a studio scale, and I wanted just to give you kind of an overview of the parts. We have a main upper and lower body part with a center brace to align and hold all the parts together. And let me pan on over here a little bit and you can see some of the add-on parts. And these are made out of a 3D resin. Again, high quality pieces. I'm really impressed with the quality of the 3D prints. And I'm going to do a little bit more of a breakdown and kind of show you a little more of how the parts actually are introduced into the model itself. This kit is brought to you by Dream Studios, and I will have some links in the end if you would like to order the model kit. He also carries some of the other smaller robots and the mother robot that goes with it as well. So let me jump back here and I'll do a little bit more of a better presentation on where the parts go and where they're located. Okay, so let me start off with the main body part. And in this case, the main body part is this lower half of the model. This is again a mixed material style model. This model comes with the 3D resin printed parts, and these are just standard resin cast parts. Again, highly detailed, very lightweight. These have hardly any, again, a very lightweight build as far as the castings go. Inside here, there's a couple of standoffs that are located in these four positions, plus a locating area that orients to this plate. This plate can either be mounted on the top half or the bottom half, and this creates not only a structure, but this also gives you a mounting spot if you want to use a center post style mount. I find it's a little bit better to have it mounted on the top side for my purposes for the build, but overall you can do it pretty much either way. So again, nice added piece. This is styrene. They also come with a couple of, let me get these over here, a couple standoffs. And again, these are 3D printed parts, and these go down inside the model and they sit in those little key areas. And this is where you would add a magnet. They have more detailed description on the website of the manufacturer that shows where the magnets go in here, and then that way you can lift off the whole top of the model for access. It's kind of a neat little feature if that's what you're after. But anyway, so there's the bottom plate. Here's the top, the centering plate. Now let me show you let's go into a little bit more here. So here is the top of the model. This is about 12.5 inches in scale. This is very accurate to the studio scale model as far as size and dimension. I had the opportunity of having both this model and the original studio model side by side. And here is a photo that I'll show you right here of them side by side. And when you look at them, you can see that the details on both of them are almost identical in every way. All the key points, all the areas where they come together, it's literally identical to the studio model. So I have to give it to them. They did a very good job at reproducing the original studio model in a, in this replica version. So anyway, so this is the top half, and what it comes with so it hooks into these. These are again 3D resin parts that are, these parts are actually printed. They go in these locations right here. You can see them pretty prominently inside the inside this picture. And inside here, they just literally key into this lower plate, and there's a little bit of play in there, and they just drop into place. So when you go to actually mount this, they're just going to sit in these little key points, and they will all lock together, and this will lock down the model. This is a really simple and easy system to work, but it's very helpful for mounting wise to get it onto the model. So those sit there, and again, they're just kind of loose in place. So I'm going to pop the piece in there, pull out these keys, and also to just go over the mounting area, there is another mounting plate, and I think this one only fits in one way. And this gives you a spot to mount a rod if you want to come up the center of it and mount it just straight up on the center. And this will support the model in the center mount. So it's again another resin 3D printed part. Okay, so this is how it goes on. Again, it's keyed in a certain way that it fits onto the top of the model. And this is kind of the bulk of the model right here, as far as scale, size, and kind of the way that it goes together. And again, you look at the scale of this model, and I mean, this is a pretty large model overall. Very impressed with, again, the really nice high rise details on it. It looks like this is going to be a fun kit to build. So let me put that one down. Now, let me go over the resin parts really fast here. So these 3D prints, here is what I want to call the eye assembly. And in this eye assembly, it comes with a separate little unibrow or eyebrow piece. And then here's the main bulk part of the eye assembly. And this holds the lenses, and it also holds the eye cups that will hold the lenses in place. This is very well engineered. This is figured out, and it's figured out for lighting as well. So as I go through the process of getting through the lighting stage, I will be making some mods on this, but some of the mods are already in place for me. So this will speed up the build process overall. So that's how that kind of goes together. And then it comes with two of these eye cups. I'm going to pop them in there. They have a little key point right on the cup that's oriented right on there, and they just pop right in place. They will be used to be backlit with the yellow lenses, and I'll show you those in a second. And those will just have a small LED. These will be very easy to lit. This is probably the easiest part, that if you don't want to go through the process that I'm going to go through of actually cutting into the model and modifying the model a little bit to try to hit some of the key areas of the lighting. If you just want to go for the eyes, this is a straightforward, very easy process to get the eyes lit up at a minimum. So anyway, that was a good thinking on the builder. And again, I'll just pop the unibrow piece on there. And that's how the eyes look. And again, the quality of these 3D prints are just beautiful. I mean, as far as very, very well engineered, nice, just nice high quality prints. So that is the main eyepiece. Then here is the yellow lenses that pop into those eye cups. These will be very easily backlit. These are like in a clear yellow, so they already kind of meet that amber look. I've tested it with one wide angle yellow or amber LED behind it, and it just looks perfect. It really hits it right on the money. So those come with the kit. Then it also comes with these very detailed armlets, and it has a left and a right arm. They're very specific as far as the orientation goes, but they have key points on the model and they go right into place. These will also have some very small red LEDs on the end tips of there to do for lighting. So that's another, and again, these are really a nice quality resin print. So those are for that. Then on the very back, which orients to the rear section of the model, there is a little tail piece, and this little tail part goes right into this little spot right here, and this is optional to be glued on as a permanent fixture, or you can remove it, and I might go in the back with a 90-degree mount plate on the back of here, so I can display the model so it's floating. This is just an optional way of different ways you can actually mount it, but this just gives you the option to do it either way. So again, nice quality part again. And let me go to the next pieces here. So on the very bottom, there's a slotted vent feature that you see in the movie, and it basically is, there's little slots that are cut out in the very edge around this part. This sits at the very bottom of the model, and what I'm going to do with this, and again, this is only if you're going to go through the extreme edge of lighting it, I'm going to cut these little areas out so I can let the light shine through these spots and get that rotational feature to make it look like it's hovering. And again, this is only if you're going to go through the modification for lighting, if that's an option for you to do or not. So that's again nice part, really fits good. Again, I'll show you the quick key in. Here's the bottom. There's a rounded lip on the bottom of this. It just literally sits on there. And then there's a certain way that it sits to orient it level, and it has small standoffs on there to hold it up. So when it's on, it's nice and even. And again, I'm working towards getting lighting into that slot area, and it should look just amazing in there. So on this side, and then it comes with a clear part that sits on the very bottom of this, and it's lit in a white light, and you might kind of see or get an idea. I don't know how well the lighting will read in here, but it's already pretty well lit, just even having a little bit of backlight on it. So this will be something that will be pretty relatively easy to light as well, just like the eyes would be. So you could just mount an LED or two in there and backlight it, and it'll look nice and bright. So that's it for the bottom part. Now on the finished part for the top, they've made this beautiful antenna, and this antenna is kind of cast, again, a 3D print, but it's in this kind of flexible resin that allows this model to move a little bit. So you don't have to be as worried about this part, flying off the bench and breaking into a million parts, since it's cast in this more of this softer, flexible resin. The part seems to be pretty resilient as far as it's going to hold up if it takes a hit or falls over, and where some resin parts are so fragile that if you fall off the floor, they'll just explode into a million parts. So anyway, again, nice job. They did a good job as far as making this a flexible part because of its high detail and fragileness. So this really saves you. And again, they did a little key block in there, so it has orientation. So you really can only go one way with it. And this part just basically sits right on the top, just keys right in place, and you glue it into place. And that's it. There's the antenna mounted. Again, as far as like easy to build, they've made this model just a piece of cake to put together as far as you know, putting the parts in there. And that basically is the entire model. This is going to be a really easy kit to build for most amateur or beginner builders. So it adds a lot of flexibility as far as ease of build for most builders. And again, overall scale and size, this is a huge model. And this is a much sought after model. Most people have wanted this model for many years, and it just wasn't available. But now with all the nice 3D stuff that's coming out, it's now available for most builders to obtain these kinds of models that were not available in the past. So anyway, to wrap up this video, and I did want to point out one other thing, and it might be something that might be a little bit hard to see, but I forgot to kind of give you an idea. Inside there, and I'm just going to get up close and see if it'll pick it up, but this model has a whole bunch of fiber optic dimples that are already pre-cast into the surface. And in this scenario, for me, for building it for lighting, I'm going to go back and I'll hand drill every one of these little tiny micro holes out for fiber optics. So I'm going to fill this with fiber optics. They're only on the two front halves, so they don't go all the way around the model, but still there's quite a few of them. But I'm going to do a little more of a detailed video on how to attack the fibers, and that'll kind of show a little bit better reference of how I'm actually doing and installing the fibers into the model. So I think I'm just going to wrap this video up. And again, I want to thank Dream Studios for sending this review over. And if you want to also put your custom models in for review, we'd be more than happy to send them on over and get them out there and publicize them. Again, I'll have a bunch of links down below where you can order the model, and it'll show some reference to where you can go and actually order them. So that'll be all included in the end. And again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. And again, looking forward to the next reviews, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.